Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Practice number 3 is in the books. Fall camp is here. It is football time in Tennessee. Today was the first practice in shoulder pads, but you know what that means. The intensity is going to kind of go to another level. Something I read over at Vols 247. They said Javonte Spraggins out on the field today stretching, was fired up and ready to get out there and make some contact, play some football. You know, once the pads start popping, you're actually playing football. It's not just going through the motions. But look, we're going into year 3 of the Josh Heupel era. Good energy. The players know where to be and what to do physically. The talk early in camp is about Arian Carter, Caleb Herring, Jeremiah Thielander. All look like $1 million. Also, David Hobbs, Elijah Herring, Tyree West, James Pierce, other names that I am reading about in fall camp looking good, looking like SEC football players. That's the thing, man. We are in year 3 of the Josh Heupel era. They have done a good job not only recruiting guys that look the part, but also going into the portal and adding some guys that look the part. SEC caliber football players. Overall, pretty healthy. Jordan Thomas is a guy that's trying to bounce back from surgery. Dylan Sampson, Kamal Haddon, Chad Nimrod, Squirrel White have all been limited in certain contact drills. Good to see Ethan Davis out there back at full speed after suffering the broken collarbone back during the orange and white game. But this is a fall camp update. Look, I've read through a ton of practice reports from VolQuest, from Vols 247, anywhere you can imagine, trying to get the narratives so I can bring it here to you guys and let you guys know what is going on a week into fall camp. We're going to get into it, but as always, do me a favor. Do that YouTube stuff. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, free, easy. It does help the channel. I would appreciate it. If you're new, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live coming up on Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, playing NCAA football, but we will talk all things Tennessee, from recruiting to fall camp, whatever you guys want to get into. And then also we will be live on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Ben McKee of Vols 247 is going to be in the house breaking down fall camp. So make sure you guys come and check that out. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the narratives. What are we seeing 3 practices in to year 3, fall camp year 3 for Josh Heupel? Let's start with Joe Milton. And I love the quote from Eric Kane. If you missed the live stream with him from Wednesday night, go back and check it out. And this is a quote directly from his practice report. We talked about it on that live stream. Kane says his throws were strong with tight spirals. His touch passes looked crisp and not 100 miles an hour. He has a nice throw to Dante Thornton out of the slot for a touchdown during the 7-on-7 period, and connected with Jacob Warren on a dig route during the team period. Looked confident and in command. Something that I read in the Vols 247 practice reports was that Joe Milton has been noticeably loose and energetic on the practice field this week. Now, the Vol football Twitter account actually put out a video where Joe was mic'd up, and I would say that is dead on accurate. Loose and energetic, a guy that's got confidence. And we've talked a lot about Joe going into the 2023 season, a lot of pressure on him. And is it almost too much pressure? Are the expectations too high? We start talking about a trip to New York. We start talking about a Heisman Trophy campaign. Can Joe handle the pressure? He seems confident early in fall camp. Also, people want to talk about Nico Iamaleava. Had a rough day. Practice number 1 had a rough day. Had a fumbled snap, had some issues with a quarterback running back exchanges, a few overthrows as well. Got more dialed in for practice 2, which is typical. You know, that's normal for a young player. Nico, I think, is going to be a special player as we move on. Jabari Small had a couple of nice runs on day 1. That's encouraging because you've got to be able to run the football. We've talked about Josh Heupel's offense. If they're going to have success, it starts with the run game. But something else, you know, we've questioned the offensive line a little bit. Is this offensive line in 2023 going to live up to the hype? Are they going to be able to hold the fort down? You know, you lost Darnell Wright off to the NFL. You got some questions at guard. Are they going to be good enough to run the football? And it was an interesting point. I think it was Brent Hubbs brought it up early in fall camp and said, you know, the way they spread you out, you don't need to be physically dominant. You just have to be able to move guys enough because they're spread so wide. So we're hearing that there. Jabari Small with some runs up the middle. A lot of talk about leadership with Jabari Small, Jalen Wright in that running back room, upperclassmen. You know, I look for Jalen Wright to have a really big year. Led this football team in rushing yards a year ago. I keep calling it a breakout year. I don't really think it's a breakout year when you've already led the team in rushing yards, but I'm looking for 1,000. I'm looking for 1,000-yard season from Jalen Wright. Also, some talk about Selden. Cam Selden looking more comfortable, more confident compared to the way he looked during the spring game. You guys know Khalifa Keith looks like an absolute monster. Some of you have already been sending me pictures of him looking like a beast out there. Practice number 3, I read that Selden, Wright, and Small were making some plays out of the backfield, getting involved in the passing game from that running back position. That's encouraging. It's not something that we've seen a lot in Josh Heupel's offense. So is that a little wrinkle that maybe they will add? The wide receiver unit, this one's kind of been, maybe I shouldn't say surprising, but Ramel Keaton out there repping a new number, wearing the number 9, just looks different. And it's a money year. It's a money year for Ramel Keaton. It's now or never. And he's out there leading the wide receiver unit. I love it. Penciled in with the ones along with Squirrel White, Brew McCoy. Again, Squirrel's kind of been limited when it comes to contact drills, but he's still out there doing routes on air. But again, Ramel Keaton out there with the one, Squirrel White, Brew McCoy as well. Ben McKee of Vols 247 actually said Ramel Keaton looks like the best wide receiver on the field. VolQuest also singing his praises. I'm excited for the kid. I would love nothing more than Ramel Keaton to go out there and do what we saw Cedric Tillman do, what we saw Jalen Hyatt do. And look, I've been singing the praises of Dante Thornton. They've got a lot of talent. It's a good problem to have. To have too much talent is a problem. Squirrel and Dante Thornton both work in the slot on day one. I expect Dante Thornton to get more and more buzz the closer we get to kickoff. The closer we get to that Virginia game, I think you're going to be hearing his name more and more. Now in the Vols 247 practice reports, they did say that he kind of jumps off the page at you. You watch the way he moves around on the field. Caleb Webb also had some nice catches, had a bad drop on day 2. It's football, right? It happens. But Caleb Webb did beat Brandon Turnage for a catch in one-on-ones. Nathan Laycock not doing a whole lot of competitive drills the first practice. His name is getting mentioned a little bit more as we get further into the week up to today. But the names I keep reading over and over and over, Brew McCoy, Ramel Keaton, Jacob Warren, and starting to hear Dante Thornton a little bit more as we get later in the week to today's practice. Today, they ran some routes on air. Caleb Webb, Nathan Laycock both made some plays out there, and Dante Thornton says here, this is directly from Vols 247, says Thornton gets out of his breaks really smoothly for a guy with his long, lanky frame. I think that's what sets him up to have success. Let's talk a little bit about the offensive line. The big talking point so far is that Gerald Mincey's working the left tackle position instead of the right tackle. So Gerald Mincey, a guy that started at tackle a year ago, is now playing left tackle behind John Campbell. J.J. Crawford, Dane Davis working the right side. Is that for depth reasons? You know, you've got 4 guys there that have played a lot of football, 3 of the 4 that have played a lot of SEC football in meaningful games, not just, they're not just upperclassmen that don't have experience, but you got 4 tackles there that have played a lot of football. Is that for depth reasons? Interesting to see if Gerald Mincey continues to work that left side. He's done it all 3 practices throughout the week. Addison Nichols working as the 3rd string center behind Cooper Mays and Parker Ball. I wonder if you're kind of locking down your future center there with Addison Nichols. Instead of moving him to guard, you're just working him at center to get him prepared for when Cooper Mays is no longer a part of this football team. Had a couple of bad snaps over the head of Gaston Moore and also Nico. But, again, he's young. It is what it is. The future's bright for Addison Nichols. Ollie Lane working with the ones at left guard. That was something I was going to be keeping an eye on. Andrej Carrick working with the 2s. Let's talk about defense. The buzz, man. The buzz all around fall camp so far is with that linebacker unit. You heard Eric Kane here on the show Wednesday night talking about Jeremiah Thielander and Arian Carter, both adding a lot of weight, looking the part. Arian Carter added 20 pounds of muscle. The dude looks like an upperclassman in the SEC right now. I'm riding with Coach J, man. Coach J said it first. Arian Carter is going to play meaningful football this fall. Now you're kind of seeing the media start to jump in and start to sing those praises as well. But, the linebacker room belongs to Aaron Beasley and Keenan Peely. They are the leaders of that group, but you still got to be excited about those young freshmen. Defensive line unit, across the board with the ones, you had Barron, Thomas, Eason, and Harrison. The second group was Bailey, Garland, Simmons, and Josephs. You had Omar Norman Lott, James Pierce, Tyree West kind of rotating in with that second group as well. Elijah Simmons, a guy that Eric Kane praised in his practice report, said he was explosive and carrying 340 pounds. Well, let's cause some controversy because on the flip side, this is what Vols 247 had to say about Simmons. Said donning his new number 10 jersey, led the line through drills, something you haven't seen during his career. The 5th-year senior is still very big, but looks to still have a little bad weight. as he's had in his career, and he's always really moved well for his size. Simmons has teased before, and the Vols are hoping to see him build on what was a solid spring and become a more dependable player. Can he be that Matthew Butler type of player? Seeing that guy come on at the end of his career, would love nothing more than seeing Elijah Simmons do just that. James Pierce, another guy getting praised for looking like an SEC edge rusher. I'm excited about the edge. You know this coaching staff is going to rotate a lot of guys. That's what they're going to do. They're going to play a lot of guys up front, and particularly at the edge position. We see Barron and Roman Harrison. Tyler Barron, Roman Harrison are going to be your upperclassmen. But can guys like Joshua Josephs, can guys like James Pierce, can they get in that rotation and impact games? We saw, Joshua Josephs do it last year as a true freshman. So I'm excited to see what he does going into his sophomore campaign. Lastly, let's wrap things up with the secondary here. A guy that's getting a lot of buzz for improving his body in the offseason is Wesley Walker. He's a guy that I expect to start at safety. We'll see how good of a job he does there. Jordan Matthews had an interception in the practice number 1. The competition at corner, outside of the guard position on offense, the competition at corner is what I'm really, really watching. Warren Burrell, Kamal Haddon, Danico Slaughter, Brandon Turnage, 4 guys with a lot of veteran guys in that group. Who's going to be those top 2? I did read in one of the practice reports that Brandon Turnage is out there showing some leadership. He's a guy that when Theo Jackson was off to the NFL, I kept waiting for Turnage to kind of take that step at the star position, but we never really saw it. What happened? Was he in the doghouse? Was it something schematics-wise? Was it something attitude-wise? I don't know what happened there, so I'm excited to see, how that competition plays out at corner. Warren Burrell is not going away quietly. He's fighting for his position. It's nice to hear that he's showing some leadership out there as well. Here's from Vols 247, said the starting 5 during the team portion of practice was Slaughter and Turnage at corners, Walker and Turrentine at safety, and McDonald at star. I wonder if too, Jalen McCullough not being out there starting at safety. Instead, you're seeing Turrentine. Is that a talent gap getting close? Is that we recruited Turrentine, got him through the transfer portal from Ohio State, got a lot of talent. Is he just winning that job over McCullough, or is this kind of a, taking care of business? You got Jalen McCullough facing the court hearing. Are they just trying to make sure that Turrentine is prepared if Jalen McCullough can't give it a go? Because McCullough is also a guy that we heard was showing a lot of veteran leadership out there on the practice field. But again, we are 3 practices into this thing. I don't want to do a practice report every single day. Seems just kind of overkill. Everybody's doing it. I want to continue to talk about fall camp. I want to continue to talk about recruiting and kind of mix a blend here and just kind of go through it all together. Let me know if you would like these, maybe once a week, twice a week, something like that, instead of just every single day coming on and running down a practice report. But jump to the comment section. Let me know what you've read, what you've seen, what you're excited about. What position group are you excited to watch? Is it that competition at guard? Is it the secondary? Are you excited about the freshman linebackers? You guys know the deal. I love the community here. I want to interact. I want to jump in the comment section and talk some football with you guys. But as always, do me a favor. Make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door and go check out the merch, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Brand new merch. Get it now. Brand new Fuga shirts, State Pride. All the old favorites are still there. We've got a Tri-Star shirt. We got a Gator Hater shirt, all kinds of different styles and designs. You can pick the color scheme, whatever you want. It's there. Go check it out. bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The link's also in the description below. And as always, shout out to the members. You guys keep the light bill paid around here. Help us out. If you like the content, you like the live streams, you like the videos, commit that $1 a month. Just hit the join button down below. It helps this channel. It gives me the opportunity to do this full time, particularly in the off season when things aren't as hot. Look, we're going into football season. It's full steam ahead. I need your support. If you'll hit that join button, you get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. I would greatly appreciate it. But if not, that's cool. Hit the thumbs up, because that's quick, free, and easy. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk some Tennessee football, because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.